Hi, grade two, and happy Monday. It's Mr. Bedford, and we're going to be doing a little bit more maths work today. I hope you've enjoyed making a plant in your craft activity for your science this week. Today, I'm going to be showing you something a little bit different in our maths. These are complicated or tricky number patterns. We have been looking at number patterns a lot over the last month, and we've been talking about the fact that they follow different rules. Well, as you can see here, these are number patterns, but they're a little bit more tricky. Okay, are you ready? Let's have a look. So, we have been looking at number patterns for a long time. We know that they must have rules and that they have patterns within them. We know that some of them are increasing, some of them are decreasing, and some of them are repeating. Well, some of them have a little bit more difficult or complicated rules. They still follow a same pattern, but they're just a bit more tricky. For example, rather than jumping +2 every time, maybe they're jumping 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, which is still a pattern and following a set of rules, but just a little bit more tricky. Don't worry about it. We'll walk you through it today. But before we do anything a little bit too difficult, what I'd like to do is use some of our previous learning to play a little game to practice what we've learnt so far. So, here's the link to the game that I would like to play with you today. We're going to be sequencing or organizing a number pattern using balloons. So again, as you have done in the previous video, use this link and play this anytime you want. But for now, I'm going to just off of here and take you to where I've already prepared it. Here we are. So it's got some lovely music. Let's click play. Okay, so we are grade 2 and we're going to be looking at number patterns. But as you can see, if you want to explore some of these other areas, that's absolutely fine too. But let's click on number patterns for today. Right, so we're going to be collecting prizes to advance to the next level. We need to collect 8 today. So let's click OK. Are you ready? So here are some missing numbers. So we have 55, question mark, 75, 85, 95. What do we think the jump is between these two, 75 and 85? Of course, it's plus 10. So 10 more than 55 must be, you guessed it, 65. There, we've popped one balloon. Okay, now we need to find the first number for this sequence. So let's look to the second and third. Again, we're jumping from 45 to 55. So the first one must be, that's right, we've got to start with 35. Well done. Right, starting at 50, jumping to 60. What would come next, I wonder? Can you point to the right one? That's right, it's 70. Right, now we need to find the first number again. So we've got to look to the second and third. So we've got 25 up to 35, then to 45. So it looks like we're doing plus 10 again, but each time is going to a 5 within that 10. So 10 less than 25 is, can you count backwards? I've already got my cursor on it. It's 15. Good job. Okay, one more. Here we go. We've done 4. We've got to collect 8. Right, so we've got 5, 15, 25, 35. Oh, I see a pattern here. Looks like we're counting in tens again. So 10 more than 35. What's next in our sequence? Of course, it's 45. Well done. 3 more to go. Okay, From 10, we jump then to 30, 40, 50. What's between 10 and 30? That's right. Over here, it's 20. Okay, 2 more to go, and then we've collected everything for level 1, and then you can maybe move on to level 2 yourself. Right, again, we've got to find the first number. So let's look to the second and third. We've got 35, 45, 55. You guessed it again, it's in tens, increasing patterns. So what is 10 less than 35? It would be 25. Well done. Okay, final one, and then we'll move on. 20, 30, 40, 50. What comes before 20 in this pattern, in this sequence? Of course, it is 10. Good job, everybody. How did you do? Well, you can continue to play this game by clicking on that link and following through and going on to level 2, level 3, level 4, as far as you'd like to go. Good luck with that. Okay, so let's come back to our tricky number pattern, shall we? So, some of the things that we know all about patterns already are that we need to spot a rule so that we can predict or find out what will happen next in our pattern. Now, we've practiced that with increasing patterns and decreasing patterns and repeating patterns. So remember, actually, this is very important information. We've looked at this word before, sequence. We've been using the terms number pattern. Correct way for finding a pattern of numbers, we call a sequence because it's one number after another. They do show a pattern, but they work in a sequence because they go one after another. So when we look at the first number in a sequence or a number pattern, we call this the first term. That's because it's the first number. Then the second number would be called the second term, and so on. So the third number would be the third term, the fourth number would be the fourth term, etc. And it's using those terms and looking at what we've jumped between them that will help us to find the rule each time. Now, for any pattern, it's very, very important to try and spot what's happening before so that you can predict the next number. Now, we've looked at that many times before, but with some of these more tricky number patterns, the first 2 or 3 numbers sometimes don't give us enough to see the full pattern. So we need to try and look as far into the pattern as we can, just to check and make sure. If you're not sure, you just go back and check from the beginning one more time. We're going to practice that a little bit today. Okay, here's a number pattern. What do you think the rule would be? Remember, for any pattern, it's important to try to spot what is happening before so that you can predict the next number. Here we've got 1, then 2. What do you think the next number would be? Now remember, these are tricky number patterns, so it might not have the same rule as you might be thinking. Let's check. Well, we start with 1, then 2. Then we go, actually, up to 4. Can you see what we've done there? Who thought that the next number was 3? Well, that would be fine, and that would say that each time we're jumping +1. But with this tricky number pattern, what we're actually doing is doubling each number. When we double something, we add the same number together. For example, 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. So now we have to double 4. 4 and 4 would be, if we're doubling the next number or the previous number, what would the next one be? Can you work it out? 4 and 4 is 8. That's right. So the next number in our tricky number pattern would be 8. Okay, It's a little bit confusing, so let's have a quick brain break. Again, we're going to go and practice some of the ordering or the sequencing that we've been working on before. Come back to here. And here we have our caterpillar ordering exercise. Now, what we're doing here is we're looking at some decreasing number patterns. So what I'd like you to do is try and finish the body of the caterpillar by making the sequence using the numbers down here. We're starting at 92 and we're going backwards to 90. How many have we subtracted for this? Of course, it's 2. So 90 minus 2 would be, you guessed it, 88. Let's pull this one up here. Okay, perfect. Now, 88 less than 2 would be, you got it, 86. Well done. And 86 minus 2, between 82 and 86 would be 84. Well done. Nice. Let's check it, shall we? Perfect. Let's try another one. So this time we're at 58. We're jumping back to 56, which again is minus 2. So what is 56 minus 2? It's 54. Well done. 54 minus 2. 54, 53, 52. Okay, well done. There we are. Let's pop that section in. And then we're jumping back again another 2. So let's count back 2. 52, 51, 50. There we are. Well done. And we've got another complete caterpillar. Let's check it. Perfect. Well done. Okay, as you can see, there's a link up here for you. If you click on this link or copy this link, you can continue playing this game and practice your even number patterns, our sequencing. Good luck and enjoy that. We'll have another game a little bit later. But let's go back and see if we can continue working out a little bit more and understand what's happening with these tricky patterns. Let's try another tricky pattern, shall we? Okay, again, I'm going to remind you, and I'm going to keep showing you all of these reminders again and again because it's important to remember. For any pattern, we must spot what's happening before so that we can predict the next number. We'll go through this slowly together. Okay, so we've got 1. Then we go to 2, which means we've doubled 1. Then we're jumping to 4, which means we've doubled 2. Then we go to 8, which is double 4. 4 and 4 is 8. Then 8 plus 8, which is double 8, lands us on 16. Okay, I'd like you to try and work out now what 16 plus 16 or double 16 would be. What do you think the next number is? You guessed it, it's 32. So the next number in our sequence would be 32. The rule for this pattern is double each number. After 32 would be 64. Do you think you can work out what the one after that would be? 64 plus 64. That's tricky. Let's do it together in our heads. Let's start with the smaller number, the 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 6 and 6 is 12. 1, 2, 8. So the next number would be 128. Did you figure that out? We'll practice this a little bit more. So we've talked about it, but what is the rule for this? Of course, we know that we're doubling again. And we've worked out that what would come next would be 128. Okay, let's look at what's happening here in term 1. We're jumping from 5 to 8, which means we're adding 3. Let's look at the next term, shall we? So, can you see the pattern here? It's plus the next number each time, getting bigger. So, the rule for the first term is plus 3. For the second term is plus 4. For the third term is plus 5. What do you think is coming next for the next term? Of course, it would be plus 6. which would take us from 17 to 23. So, what would be next in our sequence if it's plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6? You guessed it, of course, we're going up to plus 7, which would mean the next part of our sequence will be plus 8, plus 9, plus 10, and so on. I'm going to give you a chance to practice some of these on your own. Do you think you can try and take a pencil and a piece of paper? I've tried to not make them too hard for you, so just give it a go. If you can't figure it out, don't worry. We're going to keep practicing some of these and you'll figure it out, I'm perfectly sure. So, good luck with these. Try and give them a go, and I'd like you to find out the next two numbers in each sequence. Remember, look at the previous numbers to work out what would come next. Good luck with that. Don't worry, this isn't homework. You don't have to show this to me. It's just a bit of practice. Once you've finished it, pop it into your blue binder and we can have a look at it together when we all come back. Now, as a special treat, here's a game for you that I think you're all going to really like. So, let's have a look at it together. I'm going to leave this on here today and I'm going to go directly to it from here. I like this game a lot and I think you're going to really like it too. Oops, we need to select this. Let's allow. Thought that was already done. Okay, this is a really exciting game, and again, it's all about number patterns. I'm just going to introduce it to you today, but what I'd like you to do is enjoy this week. It's a lovely week. You've been working super hard, so all I'd like you to do is go and enjoy playing around with number patterns with this game. Let's listen to what he says. Are you ready? Okay, so there's evil roboids. It's the year 2110. It's 1,000 years away from now. So all of this is exciting, okay? What you'll need to do is use your number pattern skills to basically fight against all of the robots that's taking over the world, okay? It's a really fun game. I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to go away and enjoy your afternoon playing this exciting number patterns game. Again, just click on that link and you'll be able to watch it. Hey, it's Monday. You've been listening really great again, as always. I know that I've introduced something a little bit more tricky today, but don't panic. That's what all of our learning is all about, learning new, cool stuff. Enjoy that game. I'm happy that you're practicing and keep up the great work. I'll see you soon, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.